From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Saturday, September 10th, 2016. Silver is trading at $19.06 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,328 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $626. Antiwar.com reports at least 4 Turkish airstrikes were carried out against targets in northern Syria, described as the Islamic State quarters in 4 regions in northern Syria. Casualties are unclear, but Turkish media claimed at least one the Islamic State fighter to have been killed. The strikes included areas in and around Tel Ali, and Turkish media claimed that Turkish-backed rebels linked to the Free Syrian Army had captured the region away from the Islamic State over the course of Friday's offensive. Turkey invaded northern Syria late last month with an eye toward securing a 90-kilometer strip of the border for the rebel faction. They've taken the territory strictly along the border and have been pushing further south over the past few days, deeper into the Islamic State territory. As the Islamic State starts to run out of nearby territory, the next likely targets are to be Kurdish territory along the Euphrates River, with Turkey making repeated demands for the Kurdish YPG to cede all territory west of the river and rejecting U.S. claims that the Kurds have already done so. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports Minnesota Democrats have filed a lawsuit seeking to have Donald Trump and Mike Pence kicked off the ballot in November after the state party failed to follow election laws in selecting the slate of electors that will appear. The matter stems from a legal technicality involving alternate delegates to the Electoral College. The Minnesota Constitution states Electoral College delegates and their alternates must be elected at the party's convention. The GOP picked its Electoral College delegates at the party convention on August 24th, but did not pick alternates. When the party submitted its ballot paperwork on the day of the deadline, August 29th, it did not include that information. Party leaders were forced to scramble and did not have time to reconvene a state convention to fix the oversight, so the slate of alternates was chosen by the party's executive committee. The oversight caused a brief panic when the presidential ticket did not appear on a list on the Minnesota Secretary of State website on the day of the deadline. Now, Democrats in the state have filed a suit in the Minnesota Supreme Court arguing that the Republicans cut corners. FPP Radio News is brought to you by Voluntary Islam. Why do they hate us? Is libertarianism compatible with Islam? Davi Barker answers these questions and more in Voluntary Islam and other essays. He advances the voluntarist cause with analysis of the confluence of values between Islam and libertarianism, as well as contemporary movements from the Tea Party to the Arab Spring. Voluntary Islam by Davi Barker is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. Reuters reports Private Chelsea Manning, serving a 35-year prison term for passing classified files to WikiLeaks, said on Friday that she would refuse to eat until given help for her gender dysphoria and treated with dignity, respect, and humanity by the government. The 28-year-old Army private, who was born male but revealed after being convicted of espionage that she identifies as a woman, tried to commit suicide in July over what her representative said was the government's denial of appropriate treatment for gender issues. The Army announced later that month that it would investigate Manning for misconduct in connection with the attempt to take her own life, a probe that could lead to indefinite solitary confinement, reclassification into maximum security, or additional prison time. Manning said in a statement released by a spokeswoman, "I need help. I needed help earlier this year. I was driven to suicide by the lack of care for my gender dysphoria, and I have been desperate for it. I did not get any. I still haven't gotten any. I'm no longer asking. Now I'm demanding." As of 12:01 a.m. Central Daylight Time on September 9th, 2016, and until I am given minimum standards of dignity, respect, and humanity, I shall refuse to voluntarily cut or shorten my hair in any way, consume any food or drink voluntarily except for water and currently prescribed medications, and comply with all rules, regulations, laws, and orders that are not related to the two things I have mentioned. Manning said in her statement that she was prepared mentally and emotionally to endure an indefinite hunger strike, even if it proved fatal. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.